If you got a question during the show, we want to hear it. Your input is a big part of what makes the show great, and we thrive on your energy and insight. Whether it's a quick comment, a thoughtful question, or opinion, you just have to share. Don't hesitate to drop it in the chat. Now, if you want to make absolutely sure your message stands out and gets featured on the show, there's an easy way to do that. Use the super chat feature. Just click the $ at the bottom of the chat box to send in your super chat. This guarantees that your message gets on the air, and it's also a fantastic way to support our channel. We really rely on your support to keep bringing you the sports content you love, and we appreciate every bit of it. So go ahead, let us know what you're thinking. Hit that super chat button, and let's keep this show as interactive and exciting as possible. And if you prefer, you can also go to gsmcpodcast.net to tip, donate, and leave a comment or question there. We couldn't do what we do without your amazing support, and we're so thankful to have you as part of our community. We have to start off, though, with Barcelona. Dani Olmo, in his debut, coming off the bench, gets the winner as Barcelona defeat Rayo Vallecano in a come-from-behind victory after actually going down early in the game, down 1-0 in the 9th minute behind the goal from Unai Lopez. Hansi Flick makes some adjustments, and Barcelona come out in the second half to get 2 goals. Pedri in the 60th minute, and the big one that everyone's talking about, the winning goal from Dani Olmo in the 82nd minute. Before we analyze the game, some bad news coming out of Barcelona camp. They fear that Marc Bernal has suffered an ACL injury. Hansi Flick very pessimistic about it. They believe he suffered an ACL injury in the win. He was forced off in the final moments of the match in Vallecas. But yeah, Hansi Flick, he says testing will come on tomorrow, but they're fearing the worst. He said it's a sad victory. This is Hansi Flick. It's a sad victory because Marc Bernal is injured and it looks not so good. We have to wait and see how heavy it is. We win, it's okay, but you see the dressing room, nobody is happy. It's not good. He made a fantastic match. 17 years old, such a performance. It hurts. And yeah, he did. He had a very good game, and being 17, and suffering that sort of injury, it's really bad injury. Disappointing for Barcelona, though. Very disappointing, because he had a great game in that midfield, kind of playing that holding midfield role, and that's sort of a position that Barcelona don't really have a natural player in that sort of position. They have Pedri, Dani Olmo, they have Federico Valverde, who can sort of play in that position, but that's sort of away from what he does best. That's not what Frankie de Jong. Now, Marc Bernal, he was 17 years old, so to expect for him to be that sort of answer all season was a little heavy, but he would have definitely been a solid piece for them, and it's just a sad blow, not just for Barcelona, but for him just making his real first team debut, playing on the Barcelona main team and suffering injury after a great game that he had. Really sad news. But going back to the Barcelona, though, good come from behind victory after you're going into Vallecas, which is it's always a difficult when you're playing on the away pitch in La Liga. It's never easy. It's always difficult. And then on top of that, going down early 1-0 behind the goal from Unai Lopez, that really got the Vallecano crowd going. And I will say Barcelona, in the first half, Lamine Yamal, he was a little direct, had one opportunity where he was cutting it on his left foot, sort of a half decent chance. But apart from that, in that first half, they didn't create much. Rayo Vallecano deserved the lead in my opinion. I thought they played a little bit more better football, honestly. But in the second half, Dani Olmo came on and Barcelona looked so decisive. They looked very aggressive. The opportunity, the goal could have came earlier, but with the chances that they were creating, Lewandowski had a chance. Lewandowski had multiple chances actually. But the breakthrough actually comes from, and it's a player who, he's not really known for his goal scoring, and the way he got the goal, I've been saying for a while, Pedri has huge quality in terms of, being able to, his passing range, his ability to pick out a ball, and his close control and touch and all that. But what's something he doesn't have that aggressive mentality of trying to run at players, get past someone and open up an opportunity for not just someone else but for himself. I don't see that much often. And what we saw from Pedri is he pick up the ball in midfield and he sees green grass in front of him and take the space and use his speed, because he doesn't have electrifying speed, but he does have pace, and he's willing to take on the players, get past, he's willing to take a space, get past the player, and then he played the ball into Rafinha, and then what he does is he continues his run. He finds an open spot on the pitch, and he receives the ball and in a good goal scoring position, and he doesn't hesitate and he strikes it. And that's what we need to see more from Pedri, taking space, because now with Dani Olmo is really good at finding pockets of space in midfield. With Dani Olmo being in there, he's gonna attract attention from the center backs. When he makes those late runs, Dani Olmo, there's gonna be attention that are put on him because of Dani Olmo's ability to get a goal. That's gonna leave Pedri other areas, other pockets on the pitch where he's going to have room to take on a strike. And I can see him being if he's willing to go forward and find pockets of spaces like Dani Olmo does, I think he will be willing to find open places, because the attention that's going to be put in on Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski, Dani Olmo, Pedri, he's going to have space to operate it. We saw that in this game already with him being able to get the goal. And again, as I was saying, Barcelona, they just look different team in the second half. They created a few opportunities. Lamine Yamal had one. Lewandowski, I thought he should have done better on the follow-up, doesn't really get on it, but then he's able to get it through, and VAR eventually ruled it out. But it was showing there was a confidence going for Barcelona. They were creating more and more opportunities, and we were all thinking, okay, the way Barcelona is going right now, a winner could be coming. And it was kind of just poetic justice that the winner came from Dani Olmo making his debut after not being able to play in his first two games because of the issues with I believe it was the issues with La Liga registration due to Barcelona's financial woes. But we see Dani Olmo do what he did for Spain, pick up little pockets of space, shows his close control, his touch to be able to receive a pass, control it on the first touch, and lash it into the back of the net. That's what he is. Dani Olmo, he doesn't have shot power, or he does, but most of his finishes is all about precision, and it's his ability to control it, keep the control, pick it out, get it out of his feet on the first touch, and right away be able to kind of nestle it into the back of the net. And that's what he is. That's how his ability. He's good in terms of all-around midfielder, can do so much playing sort of alongside a striker. And again, I think with Dani Olmo being there, I think that is also going to open up space for the other Barcelona players as well. And yeah, it's great. Now I'd like to see how Hansi Flick makes it work with Dani Olmo, Pedri, and Frenkie de Jong. When Frenkie de Jong gets back, does this force Frenkie de Jong to play more in a deeper role, which he's capable of playing? Again, I say this a lot, but that's not really his main, position. That's not what he does well, or that's not what he does the best. Does it force, him to play that sort of role, or are they able to still get the best out of Frenkie de Jong while playing Pedri and Dani Olmo? Whether that is, maybe pushing Dani Olmo into closer to the attacking third, somewhere in one of those positions, so you can put in an extra midfielder, or I don't know. It remains to be seen how Hansi Flick wants to attack that. I think with Dani Olmo, wanting to do that, play Dani Olmo more within the front three, sort of in the attacking part of the pitch, instead of a real central midfielder role. I think the loss of Bernal, who's really the only natural holding midfielder right now, I think that's gonna force. I don't think that's possible. I think Frenkie de Jong is gonna have to sort of play that holding midfielder role for this Barcelona team, because they don't have many options there right now. They really don't. Barcelona in the past, they would have been able to go get the best in class. They would have been able to get Rodri, the best Spanish holding midfielder. But this day and age, with the financial issues Barcelona have and kind of the downfall Barcelona has gone through, compared to the rise of Manchester City, they're not able to go and just bully Manchester City into selling Rodri. That's not the time, and this is not the time anymore for Barcelona at this point where Barcelona currently is financially, and in terms of just how the club is. They're just not at that point. But overall, strictly talking about this game with Barcelona, 3 wins from 3 in La Liga, being able to come from behind not only this time but twice now this season, looked comfortable, had some good patterns of play, showed some good energy, shown some signs of aggressiveness in the way they want to go about it, being managed by Hansi Flick. I think it's been a great start to Barcelona's season. I think this is the perfect start for Barcelona. That injury is a bad injury, obviously, but if you're just strictly looking at La Liga, they're the only team perfect right now in La Liga, 3 wins from 3, and it's a good start for Hansi Flick in his La Liga debut as manager.